It's a Venn diagram.
Yes.
Where one circle is inside the other circle.
So now Johnny freely admits that sometimes he does things that may be outside the circle of law.
Yes. And he gets away with it by just closing his eyes.
Yes.
Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Mystery Maniacs. Mystery Maniacs is a comedy recap podcast dedicated to mystery TV. Each week we dig into an episode of the show, including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love.
This week, Brokenwood, Season 7, Episode 4, Something Nasty in the Market.
I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah. He's like a little song. I'm Mark. I was waiting for the next line.
If you let your kids go to the market by themselves, I guess they can listen to the podcast.
Just don't let them get forked.
Forked? Boy, we've watched a lot of television lately.
We have. There's been a lot of good stuff.
There has been a lot of good stuff, and there's a lot of horrible stuff in the world that we don't want to watch.
That's true. We finished Apartment Q. We won't give anything away except to tell you that if you are in love with the books, it does end differently, but it's good.
I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10.
Same.
Because I like the original ending.
Yep.
But they do good here.
Yep, it works. It absolutely works.
It does. Speaking of endings, Jack Wright.
It's called Jack Wright on BritBox.
It's on BritBox.
Don't watch it.
It is the Lost of mystery television.
Yes.
So I've told you this story before, but I'll tell it again. 22 episodes of Lost, the first season of Lost. We were presented at the end of the first season with Lost with a ladder. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm out. Because they're just screwing with us or they're making it up as they go along.
Yeah. I think Jack Wright is worse. Because
I agree.
It follows the structure that you expect from like a limited run show that will resolve at the end, and it doesn't.
It does
We're not going to give anything away except to say at the end of it, they do not solve the murder. It is to be continued.
There is a spoiler-laden discussion on the subreddit.
On the Midsummer Maniacs subreddit, Mystery Maniac subreddit.
Which you can join and mark as spoilers.
Yes.
So.
But I recommend it if there is a season 2. If season 2 comes out, by all means, watch season 1. But until then, spare yourself.
I got to see a really good season 2, episode 1, or else I'm ladder out again.
You're going to be like, they're still not going to solve it.
Yep. Now,
it's also a show where you don't like any of the characters. You're not rooting for anybody.
Any of the characters. There's a difference here. When I went into Twin Peaks, it's David Lynch. I knew there was a murder mystery, but I knew there was a very good chance that it was going to be solved in a weird way or not solved at all.
Well, and I would say the same thing about Lost. It presented itself as this weird kind of Lynchy sort of strange show with twists that you didn't expect. Jack Wright presented itself as a typical British murder mystery.
Yeah.
With a limited cast of characters who could have done it, detectives to solve the mystery, and you expect them to at least resolve some of the threads. Not only did they not do that,
they added threads in the last 5 minutes of the episode. They
frayed the threads they had.
Yep.
And then they macrame'd some more in, and then tie-dyed them, and spread them all around.
Yeah.
It was really frustrating. Death Valley, not frustrating. We've been watching that. We've watched a few more episodes of it now.
It is a wonderful new cozy.
It's fun. It's cute.
It's cute.
It's not serious.
No.
It's not gritty.
And boy, is it full of Midsummer people.
It's absolutely Midsummer. Yes. And then kind of different show that we started watching because I have read the books.
Danish recommended it to us like 1,000 times.
Is Murderbot. It's on Apple TV. It's a sci-fi sort of, it's set in the future.
Yes.
But the sci-fi part of it really isn't what's important.
Yes.
It's far funnier than you expect it to be. It doesn't look like a funny show.
Yes. And it's called Murderbot.
But it's very clever.
Yes.
I really like it.
I would agree.
Somebody's got not only Father's Day coming up, but a birthday this week.
Yes. So this episode drops on the 16th of June, and then our next episode will drop the 30th of June. And in between those events
Birthday boy.
is my birthday.
Your birthday, it's your birthday.
Yes. I turned 60 million.
No, you don't. You're not even turning 60.
75 quadrillion.
He's impossible, people. You can't buy him anything. He's already got it or doesn't want it or can't tell you what it is. Or the only thing that he wants is super expensive or impossible to find. He's impossible.
Sorry.
Impossible.
I want you all to have a wonderful birthday of my birthday.
Yeah. Last year we didn't have power.
Yes, last
We
year.
ate sandwiches in the dark.
If you remember, last year we had a power outage for 5 days.
5 days.
We were 5 days without power.
And it started on your birthday.
And to tell
Happy
you,
birthday.
To tell you the truth, because remember we ordered Indian food.
Yeah.
And by the end of those 5 days, we were a bedraggled household.
We were stinky and combative.
Yes.
And hot. Very hot.
Sarah called me at work and said the power was back on. I drove home and the power was off again.
Yeah, that was cruel.
And everybody was like, don't tell Mark the power's off.
Yeah.
I could tell the power's
He's going to be
off.
able to tell. This year should be better.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay, are you ready to talk about something nasty?
Oh boy, lots to talk about here. So originally aired date the 19th of April, 2021. Directed by Jeffrey Cawthorne and written by Fiona Samuel, who also wrote the book episode. She has written the 2 Petra episodes and those 2 only. Sarah, I am a vain and selfish man.
Okay.
Do you know why I'm a vain and selfish man?
I don't think you are either of those things, but why do you say?
I am indeed both of those things. Because I take a perverse sense and joy in proving IMDb trivia notes incorrect.
That makes you pedantic, not vain.
No, those people are just bad.
They take the time to add a trivia point to the episode notes on IMDb.
Yes.
Which means you have to create an account.
Yes.
And then you have to add it and somebody's got to approve it.
Yes.
And you enjoy proving them wrong.
Yes.
And what is wrong?
The note says the episode title is in reference to Something Nasty in the Woodshed, a 1942 mystery detective novel by Anthony Gilbert, pen name of British author Lucy Beatrice Mailson, is sometimes become popular saying indicating there might be something hidden danger nearby. That novel was indeed written in 1942. Mm-hmm. But what did we make reference to this particular phrase in the previous episode?
We made reference to Cold Comfort Farm.
Cold Comfort Farm, a comic novel by English author Stella Gibson, published in 1932.
Oh!
Boom, baby. I do not believe that Cold Comfort Farm is the source of this phrase, but I believe it was in the vernacular for decades before the novel in 1942.
You mean 1 decade?
At least decades. At least 1 decade.
So there's something nasty at the market, and the market that we're referring to is the Brokenwood market.
With
farmer's market?
It's a farmer's market. There is our favorite and only artisanal cheese maker.
Dylan McCracken.
Mike is so grumpy.
I would think that he would like a farmer's market.
I would think so too. And Frodo's here.
Of course he is. And so is Timmie Time Toilets.
Yes. So Timmie Time Toilets, though Timmie Time does not make an appearance, his toilets do.
Last seen in the steampunk episode.
And his fantastic mascot of a loo roll with eyes and a giant smile.
He's a happy little toilet paper.
He's very happy toilet paper.
At least this time they don't have bike wheels strapped to him.
No.
Speaking of Frodo, I happened to notice that the latte bucket price has gone down
to
has? $4.20.
Oh, that's much cheaper.
It was $20 before.
Yes.
He stuck a 4 in front of it.
There is a baker. There's also chutney. And there's the butcher.
Pete's Mighty Meats.
Pete's Mighty Meats. Last seen, Pete was in the Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm. He of the sausage. So the whole plot is around the death of Sophie Granger, chef, cookbook writer, lifestyle entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Are there any lifestyle entrepreneurs that you follow?
I guess the maker lifestyle. I guess the maker people that I follow are sort of in that. And then I watch an enormous amount of narrowboat people, which I probably shouldn't, but I have the weirdest collection of eclectic taste. People who make stuff, drive narrowboats, or talk about hockey.
Yeah, that's pretty much or comics, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. This kind of like lifestyle, like it started with kind of Martha Stewart, I guess. I think there were people before her, but she's kind of the biggest one of my era. And now I guess she's not Princess Meghan anymore. Meghan Markle has her lifestyle show. I find lifestyle people really annoying.
I can absolutely understand, and they do it. They make her look incredibly type A.
She's horrible.
Annoying. She is a horrible person.
Not only is she super uptight, controlling, vicious, but she's inauthentic. She stole all the recipes that she's famous for, and she's incredibly bad to her kids.
No wonder she gets forked, and not just wanting to do it with the artisanal cheesemaker.
I mean, say what you want to about Martha. She went to prison and all of that, but I think she actually lives the lifestyle that she was promoting. Like, she actually likes to throw parties and make people happy and have company.
Yeah.
And, you know, like,
this woman's just a thief.
She's pretending to be all those things. And I find it interesting that Sims says, well, she self-published all of her books, so she's rolling in dough.
I have a note that says self-publishing doesn't work like that.
It doesn't pay.
As a self-publisher of comic books, it's not how that works.
I think what they were trying to imply is that she kept all of the profits, you know, like.
Yeah, that's not how publishing works.
That's not how publishing really works.
Also, the world's most stupid human being shows up.
Who is?
Frodo's cousin.
Johnny Oats.
Johnny Oats.
Petra is there because Dylan is there.
Yes.
She's not Petra McCracken.
No.
She left Willie in the car.
Yeah.
That's bad.
No.
Why didn't you leave Willie at home?
Mike should have went and opened up the car
freed Willie.
And freed Willie.
I don't care what Sophie likes, whether there can be dogs there or not.
Like, I understand that you don't want to have a dog if you don't have to in the scene. Because animals are a whole different...
I get it too. Leave him at home. Don't advocate for leaving a dog in the car.
I can understand that, right? But you just say, oh, he's around here somewhere.
Or he's at home. He was asleep on the couch when we left.
Yeah.
Talk about leaving him in the car.
Don't leave a dog in the car.
And then there's Cressida.
Yes.
She of the horrible bad wig.
Cressida's wig is bad. It apparently leaks in the shower. Or it leaves dregs in the shower. I don't know what you would call
I think they made her wear the bad wig only so they could say that she has gray hair.
Yeah.
So they could say that she looks older than Sophie, and like, why is Rory having an affair with an older woman? She's not older. Her hair's just gray. Oh, and I found these gray hairs and they can't be mine. Like, she could have been a bleach blonde, or a ginger. She could have had bright red hair.
Yeah.
Or whatever hair that actress has.
Yes.
That wig
because it is not
so
that
bad.
great hair. It's just horrific.
It was distracting.
I have a note that says gray-haired wigs don't work like that.
Well, it's straight wigs don't work.
Yeah.
Like it was like sticking. I'm sorry, we're going on about it. She makes chutney.
Yes.
Do you like chutney?
I like tamarind chutney on Papa John's.
Yeah.
I realize that in the podcast about food by James A. Castor and what's his name?
Gamble.
They asked the
it's
question.
It's called off menu. Poppadoms or bread? Poppadoms or bread?
I am solidly in the poppadons category. Poppadons and tamarind chutney is a joy in life.
Yes.
But I'm not really a chutney person other than that.
Because it's cooked fruit.
It is cooked fruit.
Well, I mean, and it almost always includes some kind of fruit.
Yes.
Though it can include all kinds of other things.
I do like raw, cold fruit. That is what I like.
Dear listeners, Mark is a man of mysteries and dichotomies. He's complex. And one of the ways that he is complex is his hatred of pie.
Do not like pie.
Now, when we met and he said he didn't like pie, he said it was because crust. He doesn't
I don't like the crust.
Pie crust.
No, I do not like pie crust.
Years later, it became, I don't just dislike pie crust, I dislike warm cooked fruit.
I dislike warm fruit, yes.
So I said, well, how about room temperature cobbler?
By the way,
no crust, just crumble on top. Would you eat that?
This is a hobby of everyone in my life, trying to figure out what I would eat.
When it comes to pie, fruit pie related.
Yes.
But I've also seen you eat an empanada. A warm empanada.
I didn't enjoy it. It had a lot of caramel sauce.
You say that now. You woofed it down. It had cinnamon sugar on it. It was fried, and you ate it.
But it didn't have pie crust.
The biggest, so there's two.
I blame Madonna in this. Madonna being my mother, not Madonna the singer.
There's two chutneys outside of India and Indian food that are a big deal. I'll say they're colonial chutneys because they're British.
Yes.
And definitely came out of British colonial India.
Yes.
Right? But they're still around.
Yes.
One is called Branston Pickle.
Yes.
Which has nothing to do with pickles.
Okay. I don't like pickles.
I know. He's not really a picky eater. He'll basically eat an onion whole and raw, but, God forbid it's a pickle. Branston Pickle is almost like brown sauce. Like, it's very raisiny.
Raisiny, okay.
But it has tamarind and a lot of vinegar.
Like A1?
Yeah. I think A1 is basically like really finely blended sauce made out of Branston Pickle, more or less.
Then I would try that. Because I like...
But it's chunky. I like chunky
vinegary.
A1.
I would have it on a hamburger. If somebody said, you should try this on a hamburger, I would try it.
Then there's Major Gray chutney.
Okay.
Which is mango, raisin, vinegar, lime, onion, tamarind. Very similar.
Yes. Cool or warm?
It's chutney. It's a condiment. Room temperature.
Okay.
I guess. You probably keep it in the fridge.
Yeah, I would try that. That's probably what the red chutney-like material that comes with our Indian food is supposed to be like.
It's probably more authentic than Major Gray. I think Major Gray is the Britishification of that.
They stole our chutney.
I found a couple of others that I would definitely try.
Okay.
Apple and cider brandy chutney.
Oh,
I would totally
try that.
No, you wouldn't. It's cooked apples.
If it was cool. I don't like soft, like super soft fruit.
Okay, but chutney is like, it's by definition, it's like cooked down and reduced. That's what makes it a chutney.
I know.
Sour cherry and cardamom.
Oh, that
sounds good.
Yeah.
One I found that I would not eat is called chapta chutney.
Okay.
And it is an authentic Indian chutney made from red ants.
No.
No. Thank you.
My communist mother's sisters are not something I'd like to eat.
Not aunts, ants. Around here we have pawpaws and we have persimmons.
Yes.
And I wonder if anybody makes chutney out of either one of those.
So the chutney they talk about
in Indiana, people will wrestle you to the ground to hop a fence to steal pawpaws from somebody's yard.
I've never had one.
I don't understand. They taste kind of like a mango crossed with a banana. They're very tropical for Indiana.
Almost
it's weird.
25 years and I haven't
They
had
grow
one.
They grow all the way up into Ontario.
Yeah.
They're
never
weird.
had one. The chutney here is a not a tamarind chutney. It's
Tamarillo.
Tamarillo, which we were wondering if it was the same thing.
No.
It is not. A Tamarillo is known in New Zealand as a tree tomato.
It looks like a cross between a tomato and a peach.
Yeah, kind of.
And
I wonder what it tastes like.
Doesn't taste like either.
Our New Zealand listeners, please tell us.
What does a Tamarillo taste like?
What does this look like? What does it taste
I think this chutney would taste like a cooked salsa.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I'm thinking.
I do love a good salsa.
There's a joke about Sims being bribed
Yes.
with chutney. Could I bribe you with any condiment?
Maple syrup.
Yeah, that's true. You do just about anything for
Proper maple syrup.
You're so Canadian.
Yes.
You're so stereotypical. As long as it's not on a pie.
Who would put maple syrup on a pie?
Oh, I can imagine like a sugar cream pie made with maple syrup would be so good.
No.
I'm hungry.
No. I'm also hungry, but not for pie. I wish I could have some of that artisanal cheese, but since I cannot come within 50 yards of dairy now.
I know. I'm going to put some cheese on the grocery list this week and eat it behind your back. Sharp cheddar.
Oh, my favorite.
There's perfectly good non-dairy cheeses out there now, and you can try all of them.
Yes. So she stumbles out with a fork in her back. Now,
not just stumbles out. She pushes open giant barn double doors.
Yes.
Stands there dramatically and then falls forward with a pitchfork in her back.
I'm going to say we got through the discussion of Cold Comfort Farm without me talking much about this, but I'm going to say that this is not a barn.
Why not?
It is a hobby barn because no animals have ever been in this barn and it's not full of dirt.
Now, wait a minute.
It's super nice. Like you could live in this barn. You could eat off the rafters.
Okay. I'll give you that the rafters in this barn are way too nice. The beam that falls on her
Yes.
is like the kind of beam that it's an investment beam.
Yes.
That you would buy to go as a feature in your new vaulted living room.
Yes.
Right? It's very nice. Okay. It's also made of foam. It's hard to make that kind of thing look too rough.
Yeah.
But I'm going to disagree with you on the rest of it. There doesn't have to be animals in the barn for it to be a barn because you can be a grain farmer and have a barn.
You could. But still.
The outside of it is rough. There's gaps in the woodwork.
No,
There's sun shining in where there shouldn't be. There's hay.
It's a hobby barn.
It's a dirt floor.
No, it's a hobby barn.
Okay. You can call it a hobby barn if you want. Because we're talking about Sophie being dead, we may as well talk about how she dies. It's a spoiler podcast. Everybody knows it. Okay. She's been pitchforked in the back.
Yes.
It has missed her spine, Gina says. So it's a 3-pronged pitchfork, which means it's slightly off center.
Yes.
So 2 of the tines are straddling her spine. Now, we have seen many a death by pitchfork.
Yes.
Including Orlando Bloom in Midsummer.
The most famous pitchforking.
He gets pitchforked in the front.
Yes.
Right? He's standing still facing the person and they pitchfork him in the gut.
Oh my gosh. I remember when we covered that episode of Midsummer, I did think, that's Dark Autumn, I think the name of it, that episode. I remember thinking, we went over that murder very pedantically. That I remember thinking, we're really going over this in minute detail. It was like 240 episodes later.
I think it would be much harder to pitchfork somebody in the back. Because you're much less squishy on your back.
I think it would be near on impossible.
Especially if she's not like if she was against a wall and you did it, like facing a wall.
Yes.
I think you could do it.
Well, this was the problem that we had with Orlando Bloom. Why did he just not back up?
Yeah. Or get knocked backwards.
Yes.
Like you think it would knock you backwards before it would impale you.
And if she had fallen down and he had jabbed it into her.
Staked her.
On the ground, it would have been different. But she wouldn't have got up from that.
No, but she is moving away from him. So the momentum is with her to fall forward if the pitchfork hits her.
Yes.
Not go through her. I don't think it would work.
No, I don't think so
it
either.
would work. I'm just saying it right there. Plus, she's a bad corpse. She's clearly breathing.
Yes, she is clearly breathing, but the body bag is fantastic with the pointed stick.
Yes. Gina cuts it off. You'd have to. Or you'd have to put her in with the zipper around the handle and it would just be sticking out and then you wouldn't be able to preserve the forensic
The
science.
other problem I have with this, and this is like the first half of the episode, they keep saying this could be an accident. How could this be an accident?
Well, one reason they're saying it is because they don't want to tell people who weren't there about the details. And you don't want to presume anything. You don't want to be like, ha, definitely murder. Because, until they rule it out as being basically impossible, she couldn't have. But then Cressida and Rosie, the donut lady, who we've not mentioned yet, are talking. And Rosie's like, well, we can't go in the barn. It's a crime scene.
Yeah,
well,
it's a crime scene.
She didn't do it to herself.
Even if it was an accident, it would still be a crime scene. Yeah.
So the beautiful beam has fallen. That doesn't kill her.
And Mike is suddenly afraid of heights. He's sometimes afraid of heights and sometimes not.
I'm not going up there. Especially with the ramshackle way those railings are put together. They're like 2x4s that are just overlapping with a few nails.
Again.
No, that is not solid building construction.
Again.
Hobby barn?
Hobby barn. Real barns don't have railings.
A real barn just lets you fall.
Yes. I cannot believe the things I did as a child in our barn.
Then,
that's 35 feet in the air walking along a 1 foot wide beam all the way over.
That's rickety and crappy and might break.
Yeah.
Did you dance on it on 1 foot?
No, I did not do that.
I love Mike has Gina on speaker and he's walking with Chalmers.
Yeah.
And she's like, I need you right now, Mike. I want you here. I am dancing on 1 foot.
Yes.
And Chalmers is trying not to lose it.
Yes.
But then the worst thing, the most, I think, disturbing bit of this episode gets revealed. The reason why Gina is so worked up is that she has taken off Sophie's clothes and found that her body is marked up like an animal to be butchered.
And they go to find her children and talk to them. Mm-hmm. And that produces the worst part of the episode for me.
Hazel and Arlo.
Hazel has headphones on and Arlo is playing music. Can there not be a worse scenario ever?
That's what bothers you?
Oh my gosh. I was like...
Well, at first I was like, wait a minute, this
your
is
headphones
stupid.
Got in my music.
Why does she have headphones on if she's also listening to music?
I have that note and then I'm like, Arlo's
listening to me. I think it's wonderful because they're each able to listen to their music without arguing about it. Now, could he have headphones on or they have headphones on too?
Yes.
Yes, they could both have headphones on. But then no one would hear the door. Ever.
And poor Sims is like, can I talk to your dad? So she calls the dad and says, you need to come home right now. Mm-hmm. And suddenly, with his magic motorcycle, and we'll get to how magic it is later on, he teleports home.
The Ducati.
Yes.
Well, I think there's supposed to be a very uncomfortable 20 minutes while Sims
Can you imagine that 20 minutes? Wow.
It would be the longest time of your life.
And meanwhile, Mike's texting pictures of writing on the body.
Check out this Chuck.
They keep making reference to American Gothic here. The painting, it's him that has the pitchfork, not her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't hold anything, does she? She just stands there.
She just stands there.
Yeah, when Sims calls him, he is at the Duck Inn.
Yeah.
Ordering a macchiato.
Yep. And he has to explain to the...
One of them, their fancy coffees.
If
they have an espresso machine, they know what a macchiato is. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
He's not getting a macchiato. Because it means they don't have an espresso machine. Why is it called the Duck Inn? Is it like a do stop inn?
I don't know.
Do they have a short door and they're making fun of it?
When we get to the reveal of the stupidity of Johnny Oates, this whole plot revolves around Johnny Oates being as stupid in his inner circle as he is in the outer circle.
The circle of law.
So
Yeah, because Rory's there ordering his macchiato basically to build an alibi.
Yes, and I'd also like to say that Mike would be removed from this case immediately because his ex-wife is a suspect.
But she's not.
Well, we don't know. Pete's there. Pete should be selling not beef, but Pete should be selling red herring.
He's just grumpy old dude.
He's just grumpy old dude.
Before him, it was Trudy's husband who was grumpy old dude.
Yep.
Now he's gone, and it's just Pete.
Yes.
Pete's meat.
So I have a problem. The problem I have is...
Is it your pie problem?
No.
Okay. It's a different problem.
Pete shows the cops the map of where he was supposed to be and where he was supposed to park. He's upset about this.
We try not to just summarize the episode.
Yeah.
But in case it's been a while since you've seen it, the reason why there's a map is that Sophie has purchased the barn, the farm, and the farmer's market and all the land from Cressida.
And changed everything.
So
with the
Sophie
market.
is now in charge of the market and gets to make all the rules, including where Pete has to sell his meat, which is right next to Timmie time. On her poorly drawn map. For a control freak like that, you'd think she would have used like
Visio.
CAD or something to draw
at least
scale.
PowerPoint.
Yeah.
It should have a scale on it.
It's a hand-drawn map.
It's a
that's
very
just
badly
copied.
made map. I'll put a picture of it in the show notes.
And did that bother you?
It did. She's down to the minute planner.
Yeah, literally. And I don't know. She's all uptight about the schedule for everybody bringing in their dishes so that she can arrange them for the photographer who's supposed to show
Who
up at
never
8:45.
shows.
They say he couldn't get in either. That's what they say. But he's going to appear at 8:45 and just take photos. Just, shabong, I'm here.
I think he found a dog in a car in the parking lot and rescued the dog.
Rescued Willie.
Instead.
He freed Willie.
Yeah.
We've talked about Cressida's bad hair.
Yes.
Can we talk about her moving technique?
Oh, these people don't understand how you move.
Well, the way Cressida moves is to pack individual boxes and put them in her driveway
Yes.
while dressed as CV Nicks.
Yes. Not what you wear to get dressed.
To move.
To move.
Plus, there is no indication inside the house that anything is being moved.
No.
I don't know where these boxes came from, but they're not from the living space. Her kitchen is okay. Petra's kitchen is much nicer. I like Petra's kitchen better.
Petra's kitchen is much nicer.
It's very white.
The problem with
like
Petra's kitchen is not only does it stink of artisanal cheese, it also stinks of red herring.
Well, there's something about the interview with Dylan and Petra I don't understand.
Yes.
So when Mike goes to talk to them,
Yes.
he's at their restaurant.
Yes.
And at first I didn't quite understand that. I'm like, why do they have so many tables that you can sit at in their house?
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, no, we've got bookings. Okay, it's a restaurant. Okay. And then Petra's like, we can't keep talking to you. We're all booked up.
Yeah.
Right? So they're very busy. Okay. So Mike and Sims leave and they stop outside to have a conversation. Petra comes out
and goes, why are you still here? It's like you just left.
But then Mike and Petra go off to Petra's house and have a conversation and a glass of wine and some cheese. I thought she was super busy.
It's so weird.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
But I love how big her kitchen island is.
She has a beautiful island. It's just...
I want it. It looks like it's got a slate top. It's so nice.
You have to understand that we're thinking of doing renovations in the next 18 to 24 months. So we're looking at a lot of houses. And in addition, our house is laid out in such an improper way that we have to essentially go through 15 doorways to get the dog out in the morning.
And our kitchen is like a Gordian knot in the middle of our house. So Dylan is the one who brought the pitchfork to the barn because he has a collection of farm implements.
Yeah.
So there's, again, no way it's sharp enough to impale somebody on.
No.
Tetanus, yes. Impalement, no.
Also, hobby pitchfork. Everything is hobby about these people.
Yeah. What did you think about Sophie and Rory's house while we're talking about houses?
Sophie and Rory's house is incredibly beautiful, and like no self-published book ever paid for a house like that. And bought a Ducati.
I don't know. Wasn't Twilight self-published, the first one? It might.
Still.
Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves.
Yeah.
He says, we didn't have life insurance. Rory does because we have no debt.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so you've got 2 kids who are nearly college age, a Ducati, this house, seemingly, I would assume Sophie's got some kind of vehicle and her own business, and you have no debt.
Yep.
Oh, must be nice.
Well, self-publishing.
Plus, I don't think he works. I think it's just her business.
Well, what he does is try not to knock off his girlfriend's wig.
That she's not wearing.
Yes.
His girlfriend, who is a thief, she steals the red recipe book. Rosie's red recipe book.
Okay, so this recipe book was originally the baker's mom's book.
Rosie Donut's book. Yeah.
And then is stolen by
Sophie.
And then while she's laying there dead, Cressida sneaks in and takes the book back.
Yeah.
And hides it like, okay, when
Shoves
you're
it in a
moving,
drawer.
you don't shove things in drawers.
No. Well, it was on the table.
Yeah.
Where she just put the stolen item from the crime scene.
Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned about Rosie is she kind of looks like another person in the episode.
Who?
Did you notice that?
No.
She looks like Mrs. M because she's Mrs. M's actual daughter.
Oh. Donut Rosie is Mrs. Marlowe's. The actresses are related?
The actresses are mother and daughter.
Huh. I have to look at him again to see the resemblance because it didn't hit me. But
Rosie's in like
Mrs. M has quite the aesthetic
the epised for like
with
5
the
minutes.
sunglasses and the beret.
Yes.
Hanging out by the toilets.
She's selling quilting stuff. How much quilting do you have to do to sell it on a regular basis? Like, you got to be quilting all the time.
Depends what you make. If you make quilted trivets or wall hangings,
I suppose.
Depends whether you use a machine to do it or not. You can churn some stuff out.
I guess. Wow. So, okay.
I was very
let's deal with the thing that you brought up, which is the writing on the body, who did it, why they did it, and why it's creepy.
Before we do that, but related to it.
Okay.
I was really uncomfortable when Gina shows up in the raincoat.
Yeah.
In the trench coat.
Oh my gosh. She flashes Mike.
I think she's got a negligee on.
Maybe.
Like
that crosses the line.
It's very
She should not have been there.
No.
She could have done it on her arm.
Yes.
She didn't need to do that.
No.
She opens the coat. It's played for comedy, and we've talked about it played for comedy, but that crosses the line.
It's too far. You're right. She could have drawn a line on her arm and then drawn another one and tried to wash one off to see how long they would last.
Yeah. I think even like if Sims walks in at that point in time, she's got to report.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That Gina's in there in lingerie.
Yeah.
Never mind that she drove there like that.
Yeah.
It's unprofessional. Bad Gina.
Driving around in lingerie is a whole different thing.
And so she does that to see, they're trying to estimate when somebody drew on Sophie. Right?
Yes.
They're trying to figure that out. How long was it there?
Remember, Sophie's covered with
markups like a butcher.
Like a butcher does.
Including the word chuck in her cleavage.
Yes.
Like literally in her cleavage, it says chuck.
Now, we find out that this is not as evil as we think it is, but B, more...
just as upsetting.
Yeah.
Just as... Blech.
Yeah.
Because initially you think, oh my gosh, the killer was like...
seeing her as meat and was going to butcher her.
Cut her up or something. Yeah. But the killer couldn't have stripped her down in the barn in the 2.2 minutes between, Cheesy Dylan leaving and her getting killed. So it had to have been there before. Okay. So how did that happen? Well, she's an alcoholic and takes tramadol.
Yep.
So she knocked herself out. And then her 2 children stripped her naked and drew on her unconscious body.
Oh. It's the thing I don't like most about this episode. Like, they could have written on her arms, and so she had to wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
And it would have been, like, it's dramatic, it's visual, I understand what they were going for, but it just doesn't hit.
Like, if they wanted to So what Hazel wants to do is drive home the idea that meat is murder.
Yes.
And meat is cruel. And Sophie is very cruel. I understand Hazel's motivation to want to put her mom in a position where she's embarrassed.
She's incredibly cruel to both of her children.
Oh, she's so mean. And if she had drawn a dotted line around her elbow and put like leg of lamb on her forearms or something, you know, or even, I don't know, written killer on her forehead
or something.
But to mark her up so completely while she was unconscious, passed out in her own bed.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a crime, really.
Yeah. And it's, I wouldn't touch my mom.
No.
Like
even if they didn't strip her naked, let's just say that she's in like a tank top and shorts.
Yeah.
There's still like, pull her tank top down so I can write this in her cleavage. Okay, flip her over, pull her shorts up so I can write this on her butt cheek.
And they estimate it probably took 2 hours to do.
I don't know that it would have taken that long, but it would have taken a while. Maybe they could have just figured it out by the handwriting.
Maybe.
Other than for the sake of diversity, the fact that Arlo is non-gender specific is just an opportunity for Sophie to be mean to somebody.
Yeah. Like at first
I'm really glad that they're not afraid of her and they are absolutely themselves and don't hide who they are.
Yeah.
But to then say, okay, and both of her children were involved in doing this to her is almost insinuating that it would be something that somebody like Arlo would do.
Yeah, like they
don't say it, and I'm glad they don't.
The Arlo part, they get so right, and then they go wrong there. Because they are definitely going with the story is it's no story.
Yeah.
Everyone just accepts Arlo for what they are.
Yep.
And that's cool.
Right.
And that's the way it should be, of course.
Absolutely.
And
Arlo and Hazel are close.
When she's mad, the mom says hurtful things that
everybody.
Arlo is going to feel.
Yep.
Okay? That's a great storyline.
Yep.
I don't think the mom is actually homophobic.
No, I just think she's utterly intolerant of anybody who's out of line.
And I think she's mad and frazzled. But the whole we drew on mom naked
while
thing,
she was unconscious.
It's just wrong. It shouldn't be there. I didn't like it at all.
No. It is very striking.
Never mind the
fact.
When
they reveal it.
Yeah. Never mind the fact that the mom is openly pawing other people.
Oh. She's bad in every way, which a good victim is, because you're not sorry that they're dead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to something fun. Johnny is an entrepreneur now. I love when he's mowing the lawn at Sophie's and he sees Mike and he like steps on the gas and goes really fast. I'm out of here.
So Johnny Oats is an interesting dude because... Well, first of all, we thought he was in prison. He's not in prison.
He's out.
He's going to be in prison. The Oats family first episode is the first episode of the next season. So I think that's the one where he goes to prison.
I think the Oats, except for Frodo, have sort of a rotating door for the prison.
Yes, I think they're well known.
There may be an Oats wing.
Yes.
Where they can all hang out.
But the idea here is this, and they do a brilliant goof on True Detective here, right? So True Detective was an HBO series. Season 1 included Matthew McConaughey giving this weird speech while drinking canned beer about how time is a flat circle.
Yes.
Right? It works in that show.
Yes.
Okay? They are totally goofing on it.
It works for Johnny, too.
So Johnny tells about circles.
He does things outside the circle of law. And they're like, oh, law is a circle? He's like, yeah, like the circle of life, but it's a circle of law. And sometimes I do things outside it. It's like a circle of life is the big circle.
Yes.
And then inside of it is the circle of law. And Chalmers and Mike are sitting there going, no, they're the same size. Like... Yeah. They're the same circle.
Never mind the fact the circle of life is a circle because it's a cycle, not a circle.
No, it's the circle of life. It's the circle that contains, it's a Venn diagram.
Yes.
Where one circle is inside the other circle.
So now Johnny freely admits that sometimes he does things that may be outside the circle of law.
Yes. And he gets away with it by just closing his eyes.
Yes. Someone has offered you a $30,000 motorcycle to publish, to post
a letter,
a card.
Yeah.
It's clearly a card.
Birthday card.
And to take a ride and get some gas.
Yeah.
Okay. He is the stupidest human being on the planet.
Well, he says he thinks that Rory is like just covering up for an affair.
Okay.
That's a really expensive rendezvous.
Even if he's covering up for an affair, he's still stupid.
Now, if Rory had said, look, Johnny, I got this thing on the side, and it'd be really convenient for me if every Sunday when I say I'm going to go for a ride on my bike, if you would take my bike out, go to a few places, be seen.
Yep.
So I can be doing what I want to do and nobody will know that I wasn't doing what I said I was. You can keep the bike.
No, that's the problem I have.
Right.
Is you can keep the bike. It's a $30,000
He doesn't give him the
bike.
Ducati.
No, the Ducati's an $80,000 bike. Okay.
Does he get to keep the bike in the end?
Well, we'll get to the end.
Okay.
There's all sorts of stuff at the end.
But, Johnny he's used to being outside the circle of law,
Now, as a chick magnet, do you exist inside the... I love Sim's face when he says chick magnet.
Well, he does have that rose tattoo on his hand. I'm sure women love that. When he goes to buy candy bars. If somebody walked into a convenience store in their leathers and their helmet and their visor was down, I would be creeped out.
You're in an 80s horror movie.
That's like wearing a ski mask.
Yeah. There's some 80s horror movie where there's a biker dressed like that.
But it's not a real person inside of it. Is
something.
There? It's like a zombie
or
demon, alien,
thing.
whatever. I just think it's really suspicious when somebody comes in a tinted visor and doesn't even lift it up to make eye contact with you.
Yeah.
If they were out at the pump, I don't care. But if they come in, you got to at least lift the visor, if not take the helmet off.
Yeah.
No shoes, no shirt, no taking your helmet off, no service.
I do love that they have to check with the butcher about if he's having sex with
Sophie.
That
made his day.
Porking? Not in a million years. It's not even how you portion out a human. And they both have a look like...
Every butcher's thought about it. Where's the oxtail go? Like, well, if it was a man.
We're meat puppets. I did a search for meat puppets. So there's a band called Meat Puppets.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to search that.
I don't know if there's like an origin to that term.
I don't know, but every image I have of it is gross.
Yeah.
So I don't want to know. If it was a dude who got marked up that way, he could have an oxtail.
I guess.
Or your tailbone, I guess.
I guess. Why does Sims hate apricot so much?
Oh, it's just it's an unexciting jam.
I guess.
Apricot preserves are good. But I mean, like as in pie and chutney with fruit, I like that.
Yes.
For the cooked fruit stuff. And I think apricot jam is good.
Well, there's twice as many of it in the world for you then.
All the pickles, sauerkraut, and jam in the fridge are mine.
Well, no, I like jam. It's raspberry jam on a piece of toast.
Wait a minute.
That's delicious.
That's pie filling. It may as well be pie filling.
It's not hot. It's not hot.
But it goes on warm toast. See what I have to live with? This is what I have to live with.
I also have a weird thing where I have to have all my food hot.
Yeah.
So Petra says...
So you wouldn't eat cream tea?
No, it's got dairy.
Well, you can't have dairy, but if you could, would you eat clotted cream?
No, Plus tea is
we don't
tea.
He doesn't like tea either.
I'm totally against tea.
I have had cream tea before with the scone and the clotted cream and the jam, and it is very good. But I have to say, it may be a cultural thing. Clotted, to me, is not an appetizing
It's not
term.
a fun word.
But clotted cream is somewhere between whipped cream and butter. It's really nice.
So people have asked me, in fact, Mo asked me this week about culture shocks when I moved here. The fact that you people call it American cheese is stunning to me because...
You think we should just call it cheese?
No. So in the rest of the
cheese?
world, it's called processed cheese.
Not processed.
Or processed.
Processed.
Entrepreneur. Yes. And
we're American.
You get
it's our fake cheese.
You got an idea that it's fake cheese at that point in time. But in America, you put stars and stripes right on that cheese.
Dang right we do.
Okay.
It's American cheese.
Yeah.
Artificial and processed, just like the rest of us. It's good.
Artisanal cheese.
I like all cheese, except the really, really stinky kinds. And I have to say, though American cheese isn't really cheese, it's good.
Yes. We find out that Sophie's husband and Cressida, it comes out that they've been having an affair.
Are you convinced by that? Do you buy their relationship?
Sort of. What I don't buy is she would not have gotten into that relationship without him, without knowing that he would never leave his wife.
You don't think she would have gone out with him in the first place, knowing he was married?
Yes.
I don't know. Sophie is so awful that Cressida might have, in some part of her brain, saw it as kind of revenge.
I think so.
To sleep with her husband.
Cressida is a broken, weird person.
It wouldn't take much to be better than Sophie as a partner.
Yes.
Right? Really, go out with Johnny, Rory. He's better than that.
Yes.
He's at least not mean.
Yes.
But I'm just not convinced by their relationship because she has no warm, fuzzy, nurturing side at all. She's Chutney Stevie Nicks with a bad wig. I just don't buy their laying in the hay bales and being close to, I think he could do better if he was looking for somebody who was kind.
I'm going to say this with as much innocence as possible. It's not fun to do that in the hay bales.
I don't think I'd even want to lay in a hay bale.
No.
Fully dressed on a blanket.
No, they scratch the shit out of you.
Well, you see how much dust is kicked up constantly when they're in the barn moving around in the hay.
That's hobby dust, by the way.
It looks unpleasant to breathe, and I know what it smells like.
Oh, okay.
Hot hay has a smell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, trauma.
So what has happened is Johnny has been basically employed to provide an alibi.
Yes.
And they go to the Do Duck Inn. And what is impressive to me is the Do Duck Inn, the only one I ever found, is not in New Zealand. It's in Australia.
Oh.
So those bikes went across the water. It's a Chinese restaurant in Australia.
If I had a really cool bar, pub, and it was an old place, so it had the lower door thresholds that you could easily hit your head on, I might call it the Do Duck Inn.
But it's D-O-O Duck.
Oh, I guess it's better than D-E-W.
It's Do Duck Inn, really.
D-O-E?
No, D-O-O.
That's do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a word.
But it's not do. It's do.
I've seen the Dewdrop Inn.
Yes. And it's a play on that, but
it doesn't exist in New Zealand.
Yes.
So you don't know what this actual place is.
I love how Johnny Oates, though outside the circle of law sometimes, gives him up in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. He's a narc. Trudy may not be, but he is.
Yeah. We get to the recreation of the climb.
Mostly he gives him up because he doesn't think that anything is wrong.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, he gave me a $30,000 bike to post a birthday card. What of it?
So the husband's trying to
make
make this look like an accident.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, getting that beam that in reality would weigh 400 pounds to
easy.
do what he does.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Second of all, I went back and watched this a couple
Though
of
it does
times.
look ouchy when it whacks her on the back and knocks her down.
It doesn't touch her. I watched this several times.
Even if it did, it's made out of foam or something. So.
I was a little worried that it was bouncy.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly foam.
Yeah.
It falls like something with a little weight, but not a huge amount of weight.
No.
But they do a little forced perspective on that fall.
Yeah.
So that
she throws herself to the ground while it
over
looks
her,
like
not
on her.
It hits her, but it doesn't hit her.
Yeah.
But then she has the worst 2 minutes of her life because she looks up and sees her husband. And at that moment has to understand that she is about to be replaced. Mm-hmm. Because she knows about the affair at this point in time. So she knows something has terribly gone wrong.
So she goes from, oh my gosh, what happened? That hurt.
Yes.
To a beam fell on me. To there's my husband. Wait, he must have dropped the beam on me. And then watches his face go, she's done.
She's not dead.
Wait, she's not dead. Wait, I got to go finish her off.
Climbs down. Oh, he's coming to help. No, he's not coming to help you.
No, she's like, I'm going to run. And he gets her.
Yeah.
It's vicious.
It is so vicious. And then, like, he is a horrible man. He's a killer. He's a bad killer on top of it.
Their kids are orphans
You
now.
don't involve other people in your alibi.
No.
But he implies that Cressida made him do it.
Yeah.
We never see Cressida say anything like that about her. She's mean. Cressida's jilted and upset, but is not.
Well, and Mike says, so she told you to do it? And he says, no. Like, she didn't specifically put him up to it. She just said.
I think he realizes that what he was implying was that. And he's like, oh, no.
I'm not going to be able to pull that off. No. But Hazel and Arlo are on their own.
So Hazel and Arlo. So they are under 18, one would assume. They're going to grandma or grandpa's house with a boatload of cash because mom's dead. Dad's in jail. So they...
I don't know. Even if you confess, your legal debts are pretty big.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I think they might be like, we're not going to go visit Dad.
Hopefully they'll just take the money and go off to some posh college and live it up.
I think they should. Where they can play their music in two different ways at the same time.
Is Johnny keeping the motorcycle?
I don't know what happened with the motorcycle because... Okay, if I was the lawyer of the husband, Rory, if I was Rory's lawyer, I would say, we need to talk to Johnny Oates to get that bike back so we can sell it so that you can fund your legal fees. Because I don't think your wife estate is going to pay your legal fees.
She left everything to him, but he can't profit from
her
murder. So I don't know if he has...
Though I watched the thing on legal... myths the other day, and I don't believe any of this now. Like, you might be able to profit from somebody's death.
It just depends how you do it.
Depends.
I don't know how much money you've got to fight it.
So I don't think Johnny Oates gets to keep the bike.
See, I don't know.
But maybe we see him again on the bike.
Because I could see the argument that he got it in exchange for committing a crime, but he wasn't committing a crime.
No, it would have to be.
He's not an accessory. He had no idea what he was going to do. He thought it was weird.
I'll tell you what it depends on. It depends on whose name is on the deed, the ownership of the bike.
I think it's going to be Rory.
If it got transferred to Johnny now.
Oh yeah,
again,
because Johnny's big on the legal paperwork.
Johnny's not that smart. If it's Rory's name on that paperwork, they're just going to go get the bike.
Yeah, but if it's Johnny's, he's going to be like,
that's his bike.
He gave it to me.
He gave it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete the butcher sells meat.
Rosie has her recipes back, but Sophie's already published all of them. It's not like she could do anything with them except just have them back.
She could sue her estate. I don't think Rosie's the kind of person that would do that.
No, I think it's pretty clear that she's not interested in that.
If it was Cressida, I think Cressida would sue.
So the sale of Cressida's land in the barn and all of that stuff has gone through.
Yeah. But it's implied that she kept the house because
they let her stay till she found someplace, she says.
Yeah.
So Rory's not going to tell her she's got to go.
No.
Unless he has to sell it again.
But they're done.
Well, yeah. But she might be able to stay, but she might not want to. I don't know.
It's not as if she's packed.
No, she's not ready to move by any means. How long is Gina going to have that writing on her? I think it's going to be a while. She's got some scrubbing to do.
Gina's got the Sharpie out.
Oh, boy. Who helped her? She said she had to have some help.
Yeah. Who helped her?
Her poor neighbor.
I know who helped her.
Who?
The cop outside the door. Most boring job in all of Brokenwood.
Well, that is something nasty in the market.
Okay, folks, we're going to take another week off because we need a break and we did 1 million episodes. So we will return with season 7, episode 5, because remember, this is the first season with 6 episodes. Exposed to the Light, which is the cinema episode. Awesome. Which is funny because this reminds me a lot of, we did a murder mystery thing with Tegan, and the explanation reminds me a lot of that.
Oh, of that little murder in a box that we did? Interesting.
So season 7, episode 5, Exposed to Light.
If you like chutneys and you got a recipe, send it along.
If your husband has weird food tastes,
don't. I'll sympathize with you.
Make fun of him.
I love you, and you are easy to feed other than pie.
I just don't like it.
But you're not picky.
Especially vegetable pie.
You're not picky. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me is my problem with it.
I
have no problem with you not liking
I am
pie.
a man. Okay, so this is what it is. There is the circle of food. And there's the circle of food that I will eat. And sometimes I branch out of the circle of food that I will eat and try something new. But pie will never be in the larger circle.
And other times you recede screaming, no pie! Back to the circle that you'll eat.
And it's like the top of the pie.
You're a strange man. I love you. Bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs.
Clear it out. Clear it out.